So we have some esteemed officials in the building, so I just want to give a brief introduction. We have Councilman Steve Hockaday in the building. We have Councilwoman Terri Briggs-Jones in the building. And we have Commissioner Chair Rebecca Williams from Union County in the building. So we're going to have them come up and say a few quick words real quick. We still have more people come in, but I just want to let you guys know we're about to get ready to let you guys go in on the food. We have some wine available at the window in the other room, so just make sure you have your tickets, and if you have your ID, just so you can confirm the liability issues. And there's also some information on the table, as well as some gifts from PNC Bank, some gift bags, so feel free to take one home. So we'll start with the chair.
Thank you, Josh. I'm really excited to be here, and I'm really glad that that our young people here in Plainfield are taking the initiative to host events like this for our young entrepreneurs and other business owners. Some of us are a little longer in the tooth than some, but I'm really happy to be here. I'm glad to see Len Harris is here from the Gateway. I'm sure he's probably on some speaking list somewhere too. So I'm bringing you greetings on behalf of the Union County Board of County Commissioners, and I'm just really excited. I hope that you all love this beautiful space. This is PPAC, Plainfield Performing Arts Center, and when it was in its previous iteration as the First Unitarian Society of Plainfield, I was actually a member of this church, so I'm very familiar with it. I'm loving the renovations. This is a center for art, a center for culture, a center for entrepreneurs to invite the community in so that we can learn a little bit more about you. There is a great deal of information that will be brought to you by Josh and everyone as we go through the day. I'm going to stay as long as I can to hear some of the speakers and see some stuff, but thanks again, Josh. Thanks to the City of Plainfield. Thanks to the City Council. Thanks to all of the support. We've got the media team here from Plainfield, and I know folks are going to be kind of drifting in throughout the day. Sharon McGuire, who runs this beautiful arts center. And Josh, you want me to just hand it over to the council? Okay, so next up I think we have Councilwoman Terri Briggs-Jones from the 4th Ward, and then Councilman at Large Steve Gary Hockaday.
I'm going to be nice and brief. I don't hold anyone up, but I bring you greetings from the 4th Ward. I represent, my name is Terri Briggs-Jones. I just want to thank you all for coming out to even supporting our young people, because they need our support. Each one, reach one, teach one. And that's what we're here to. We're here to build each other up. And I'm a mom of an entrepreneur, so I'm really excited. So you know what I did, right? Get down here. You better get here. Mom, I forgot. No, get here. So I'm just really excited about it. I'm really excited about you all being in entrepreneurship. I'm excited that you all are taking it upon yourself and just doing something for yourself and showing that independence. Because that independence is very important. You know, and you just never know, especially in this pandemic that we just had. You have something to fall back on. And you know, and I was just telling the commissioner, you know, and she was aware also as well, as I mentioned it, during the pandemic, my son actually did not close down. And which you all might not know that, but he did not close down. But he fed. My son is Kyle Briggs, and he fed, he's the owner of Too Much Sauce Food Truck. And he actually, during the pandemic, he fed over 500 kids. Wow. And he also fed the police, the detectives, the nurses and doctors. He put it out there on Facebook, he put it out there on Instagram, free of charge. Because we know that people were struggling and they could not be amongst each other. But we had, and that's what we did. Reach one, teach one, and this is what I told them. Always give back. All because that's very, very important. But you know what? The networking is important so that we all come together. So again, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for supporting our young people. You know, Josh and Erica and our IT, the City of Plainfield, the constituents, the taxpayers. Thank you for coming to support the young people. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I'm Councilman Steve Hockaday, a resident of the fourth ward, and I am an at-large councilperson. And very happy to be here at this event for millennials, entrepreneurs. But I'm here mainly just to listen. More than anything, I want to hear about the ideas, the businesses that you want to start. I want to hear about the directions that you want to go in. And see how we can leverage resources that I may have, or the council people may have, the county may have. There's resources for all of you that we can begin to leverage once we understand what it is that you want to do. And also putting our brains together to figure out how to maximize and optimize our businesses. This is why we're here. You know, this is a nice intimate start, but as many people as we can help, you know, we'll start with this room first, seeing who we can empower with all the resources that may be available to you. And even opportunities outside of what your business may be in partnering with other businesses. Rooms like this will give us all an opportunity to collaborate with each other, see what people in this room do, see how we can even use each other. All right, so I think this is the start of a good relationship, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. So thank you and welcome.
Good afternoon. So I'm Erica. I want to say thank you everybody for coming. The numbers that are here doesn't mean that this is the impact that this event has. It doesn't start or stop here. I ask that you guys, when you go home, that you tell a friend about the resources and all the speakers that are here, because I promise you the information that they're going to bring you is going to bless you tremendously. I was just sitting here and we were talking to Josh and we were sharing about the impact of all the entrepreneurs here in the city of Plainfield. And I just wanted to house something that we all could come and collaborate and share ideas and network. Sometimes we have events and they're always, I can't come because I'm having something, or, you know, you should have told me ahead of time. And I just wanted to have one event where we could all have maybe a calendar where we could say, you know what, maybe we can't put the same events on at the same time, so we can all support each other. It's a big thing about support. Or some people have businesses and they're not registered with a proper EIN number. So this event is going to be here to let me go back. First, I wanted to say congratulations, because if you are here, that was the first step. The first step was to acknowledge that, you know, having a business is very hard. We know that it doesn't stop. You do not get a day off. I have multiple businesses. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have a nonprofit and a for-profit. There's never a day off. Whether you're on vacation, there's things that have to be tended to. I'm currently back in school because I know I failed at running the business side of the business. So I'm actually at Kane University learning entrepreneurship. But I wanted to give that knowledge to people like me. I wanted to share with you guys the things that I'm currently learning. And so I wanted to have an event where we can give you guys that knowledge. It's one thing to print shirts or make food at home, but it's another thing to run a proper business, to do your paperwork on time, to do all those things. And so 2 gentlemen are here. We also have 2 speakers that are on their way, and they're going to give you that knowledge that you can take with you in terms of building your business, or if you're here and you don't have one, but you have that niche that you want to have a business, you're going to learn those things today about passive income. There's also things that you need to learn about inflation. I don't know how many of you guys watch news. I don't watch TV, and that's no shade to anybody, but I currently watch the news. I know that there's cattle that's dying in Kansas that affects how much we pay for the price of meat. And I know that if you don't have a sense of having another thing of income, you start to feel it affects the $5 gas or $12 steak. And so the 9 to 5 is not cutting it. So you do have to have another type of business or investments or stocks or bonds or all those things. These gentlemen, I had a wonderful conversation. I was like, can we just be friends after this event on Saturday? That's another thing. Learn to be with friends who push you. Learn to not be with friends that are just keeping you at a settled point in your life. And so this event, hopefully, in the networking of it, you will get to friends that will push you. I said to them, I'll tell you a little bit, can we just vacation and just do entrepreneur things? And so this is what this event is about, learning to be around like-minded people to help you grow and not stay stagnant. And so I hope that this event blesses you like they did to me a couple of days on the phone, but the speakers that are here are dynamic, and so I hope you enjoy. The food is now going to be available for you, and we will get started shortly. Thank you guys for coming.
A lot of knowledge in the building, a lot of very resourceful and inspirational people in the building, so make sure you're taking advantage of networking opportunities in the space. So real quick, we have the Honorable Mayor Adrian O Mapp in the building. And then we have our very own Superwoman, Linda Carter is in the building, everybody. So we're gonna have them come up and say a few quick words. We'll let you guys get back to networking right after. But yes, so we'll have the Honorable Adrian O Mapp come say a few words to you guys. Round of applause.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I just want to say hi and hello to each and every one of you. It is important that I make this stop so that you know that I support the kinds of things that you want to see here in Plainfield. I am a very strong supporter of our young people, of all people I should say, and to the extent that I can give assistance, that my administration can give assistance, we stand ready, willing, and able to do so. And I want to thank Josh and the others from the city that brought you here. And I just want to let you know that I am here to support you. I want to hear what you have to say. So know that the doors of City Hall are open, and I invite you to come see me. Let's talk about the things that concern you. Give me your ideas, your suggestions, your recommendations, and we can talk about it. And together, we can make this city a better place for us all to live, work, shop, and play. All right? All right. Thank you.
All right, guys, so we got 30 more minutes of networking, so make sure you fill out those papers. Once again, we have those wonderful gift baskets. So these gift baskets were gifted to us by the Parks and Rec Department and Plainfield Action Services. So round of applause. Yeah, 30 more minutes and we can get started with the panel. All right, thank you. Mic check. Excuse me, everybody, we're getting ready to get started, so please find your seats. Appreciate everybody coming out. All right, so my name is Joshua Howard. I work with the Plainfield Initiative in the city of Plainfield. Once again, would like to welcome you guys to the Future Plainfield event. A round of applause for coming out today. All right, so this event is real important to me. And I'll tell you why, because I feel like our generation in general, we need to take a little bit more charge over not just our lives, but also our presence in the community. So whether that be from the entrepreneurial side or even creatives who want to get their business together, you know, this is an event that's definitely going to benefit you, nurture you, and help you take things to the next level. So I'm really glad that you guys came out tonight. We have a few people that we want to introduce today, and we're going to have a few words from them before we get into the presentation. That's all right? Cool. So right now we're going to bring up Councilwoman Ashley Davis to say a few words.
Good afternoon, everyone. So as Josh said, I am Councilwoman Ashley Davis. I represent the first ward here in the city of Plainfield. So I want to say congratulations to the Love Plainfield team for putting this event together. When I was running for office 4 years ago, I talked about the importance of having a millennial voice on the council, the importance of having the millennial perspective on the council, the importance of us being here, not only in the city itself, but within the city government infrastructure. I'm glad to see so many people out. I'm glad that this event was put together and it was well thought out. I hope to see more events like this because we're not in the future of Plainfield anymore, right? We're the people that the city is looking to target. We're the people that the city wants to move here. And we're the people whose voice should really be at the table. So once again, thank you, Love Plainfield, and let's have a great day.
All right, so once again, we have some other distinguished individuals. I just want to acknowledge them once more for people that showed up late. So we have the Commissioner Chair Rebecca Williams from Union County here. We have Councilwoman Terri Briggs-Jones in the building. And we have Councilman Steve Hockaday in the building. Thank you guys for coming out and supporting. You know, it's real important to make sure that we receive that support and feel some love. So we also have a few more speakers that I want to bring up real quick. So the first of which will be Len Harris, who is the Executive Vice President of Gateway Regional Chamber of Commerce and the Queen City Chamber. So round of applause.
Thank you so much. It is an honor to be here. And congratulations to the Plainfield team. You guys are putting on a session that is ignored. And it's about networking. It's about relationships. Not one of you, whether you're an employee or a business owner, can do it alone. And the fact that you are all here giving up of your personal time on a Saturday to get to know other entrepreneurs, to figure out how you can support each other, that's going to be the difference maker. That's going to continue to put a city like Plainfield on the map where it deserves to be. And that's on the map because there's amazing talent in and around this town, whether you are from the New Brunswick area or you are from the North Plainfield area. You are all, I'm a geriatric millennial, so, which means I'm older than many of you here. But you guys are incredibly talented. You will be the future of commerce. And so I invite you to come to the Queen City Chamber so that you can network with other like-minded business owners. So congratulations for being here. So thank you for having me.
All right, so next up we will have our veteran Annette, who's the Senior Vice President, Regional Manager, PNC Bank, and also a women's business advocate, come up and talk to you guys. So round of applause.
Good afternoon, all. Such a pleasure to be here. This is where my heart is, with the youth, the millennials. I praise God, first of all, giving him the glory and the honor. I'm a Senior Vice President for PNC Bank, and what I do in addition is I put together a lot of business events in the community. I'm very passionate about women business owners, so I'm a women business advocate. So if you're a woman business owner, look for me, connect with me. I am that liaison, connecting you to the tools and resources that you need. I also work, of course, with male business owners as well. And I'm in the process of putting together a summit where I can bring all the business owners together. And I work in connection with the Small Business Development Corporation as well, really providing the tools and resources to each of you. And it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
And just in case you guys didn't happen to go into the other room and use the bathrooms, we have a table out there. And she was generous enough to bring some bags for you guys and some goods on behalf of PNC. So thank you once again for supporting the event. And as you heard, we have a lot of amazing resources in the room. So before you leave, make sure you make those connections. This event was a long time in the making. We had delayed due to the COVID variant and some other factors, but I'm glad that we can be here in this room right now. And one of the people who's kind of been a strong force in making sure we can have this event here is Sharon McGuire, who is the head honcho here at the Plainfield Performing Arts Center. So we're going to bring her up.
It's so great to see young people in the building. It's a big deal to me to get millennials in the building because I am the proud mother of 3 millennials. But what I'm here to really talk about is that this building is a resource. And I hope that people think of this building as a resource. This entire building can be rented. And I know that sounds like it's not a big deal, but it is smack dab in the middle of Plainfield. It is absolutely right where you want to be to reach people. We're also looking for creatives, to promote creatives, to find out who other creatives are in the city, not just the ones that are already established, but emerging artists. And unless we know who you are, unless you come to me and say, hey, I have a great idea, I want to put on a play here, we can do that. We've got the space. This is just one room here. There's a theater. There's an art gallery in the hallway. There's 5 studios and a reception space and a beautiful garden. Think about it. Think of how you could use this space. It may be that you're going to rent the space. It may be that you want to partner with the city on a special event. Think about it, because I'm here to talk to you, and I am an advocate, not just an advocate for the arts. But I'm also a workforce development advocate. I sit on the cannabis committee, and that's the one more thing I'm going to say before I date back to the 70s. But that's not what I'm talking about. Plainfield has a strong interest in using cannabis to promote equity. So we have a cannabis program where we actually train people to become cannabis certified. There, our own Erica Brown, one of the organizers, started a business based on her certification that she has through the City of Plainfield's cannabis program. Put it on the calendar, October 13th, the Cannabis Conversation. We're going to have an event here in the building where we're going to talk about how to start a cannabis business. So if you're here and you want to find out more, come October 13th. And talk to me about whatever else you might dream about having this building. Thanks.
All right, so before we get started, I just wanted to announce the winners of our scavenger hunt real quick so they can come up and receive their baskets. I know some of y'all were upset that you called me a little bit too late. I'm sorry, I apologize. But the first winner that we're going to bring up is Tiana Ford, everybody. Let's go. And once again, baskets were provided by Plainfield Parks and Rec Department and Plainfield Action Services. A lot of awesome Plainfield merch in there. So, and the second winner that we have is Devon Panther. Make some noise.
It's a great shirt in South Plainfield. There you go.
All right, awesome. So, are y'all ready to learn? Are y'all ready to get some information, some knowledge that can help y'all advance? So So to introduce our speakers, we have my other right hand who's been very instrumental in helping to organize this and bring everything together. And we've continuously found out how similar we are in a lot of aspects. So it's been a pleasure working with you on this. Ladies and gentlemen, Erica Brown.
I had the privilege of talking to these two gentlemen not that long ago, and it was just amazing how we were alike in terms of what we wanted for the entrepreneurs, in terms of what we aspired to be. And so I really don't want to get much into it because I want them to introduce themselves in terms of what they want to teach you guys. But Johnathan the Mentor and Aaron Jones, if you guys can come up and share with them what you have shared with me. You guys go ahead.
Appreciate each and every one of you guys for taking your time coming out to this amazing event. I also want to give it back to the community for really allowing this to happen and giving us a creative space to really bring entrepreneurship to the forefront. And I think that's what it's truly, truly about. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. If you guys can, give a round of applause for yourself for being here today. That's been a lot, so I appreciate you guys. So I'm gonna share my story real quick just to tell you guys a little bit about who I am, and then I'm gonna pass it over to my business partner. I'm gonna pretty much be letting you know what I've been doing in the entrepreneur space that's allowed me to be, very fortunate in having the skill set that I have right now, and being able to really travel the world and really, share this information and really change some lives. And I always learn that it's the access to information that can truly change the situation. And if it's not with the information that we learn, we all wouldn't be here to be able to serve a purpose, right? It's really about the value that you can really provide to one another that's really gonna allow you to really, push forward with what you're trying to pursue. So with that being said, guys, so my name is Johnathan. I'm originally from New York City. I lived out in Jersey for a very long time now. I'm 32 years old, started my entrepreneurship journey at 15, all right? I was a runaway teen. I ran away from home. My mom was a single parent, trying to put food on the table for me and my brother when my dad was pretty much doing federal time in prison. And I really had that father-like figure growing up. And I felt like I had to really step up to the plate, right? And in the neighborhood that I grew up in, there was a lot of gang violence. It wasn't really, community outreach that was really, wanting to be out there to teach people a thing about building a business. But I started watching videos at a very young age, and really wanted to learn how could I get to that next level, because, just seeing my mother struggle, working that 9 to 5, really, even going to college to get a degree and to barely even pay the bills, it was a little concerning for me, right? So I had to make the decision as the grown man in the house, and I had to run away because I had a vision that was so bigger than the situation that I was in that I really wanted to pursue that entrepreneurship level. So I ran away. I started living in a shelter called the Covenant House for runaway teens, where they actually, give you some, programs to really, help you get your, self off the ground and running. And I took advantage of the resources, right? Because I realized that I had a vision, I had something that I really wanted to pursue. I didn't know what I wanted to pursue, but I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I didn't know what was gonna lead me to entrepreneurship. So fast forward, family, living in the shelter, I started selling comedy club tickets for the biggest comedy clubs in the middle of New York City on 42nd Street in Times Square. And I had one of my biggest breakthrough moments when I was able to make $500 in a matter of just 2 hours selling comedy club tickets. And when that happened, my whole life changed for me because I realized one thing: your grind, your hustle, your motivation, your dedication, your willingness to go out there and succeed is not defined by 9 to 5. It's not defined by getting a degree. It is defined by you. Because given the opportunity, knowing your circumstances better than anybody else, with the opportunity, only you could take it to the next level. So I was that 15-year-old, I was that kid that was out there wanting to make things happen. I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I said, you know what? I realized that I hold the possession of really attracting what it is that I truly want to attract in my life. And I chase after it because I realized one thing: it starts by making a decision. And number two, with that decision, is making the decision to go all in with what you're trying to do. Because I live by one acronym, and it's called FOCUS. All right, for those that don't know what FOCUS means, focus on one course until successful. And I say one more time, focus on one course until successful. So the fact that I focused on entrepreneurship, I focused on selling those comedy club tickets, right? Let me tell you, at 16 years old, I saw the bigger picture. I said, what if I can teach other people on how to develop the skill that I've already learned how to do and help them overcome the situation that they're currently in to get them to have that breakthrough that I'm currently experiencing. And the fact that I was able to teach individuals on how to hone in on what I've learned how to do, I was able to hit a 6-figure income at 16 years old in a matter of 30 days. All right, so the fact that I was able to hit a 6-figure income at 16, because it's not about what you know, rather it's about what you can teach. And what you can teach leads to momentum, and momentum leads to duplication, and because of duplication, that leads to success. Right, so because of it, I've been a successful entrepreneur. I'm 32 years old right now, family. You know, I've been able to build a lot of small and mom and pop companies from the ground up as a freelance consultant. All right, I helped a lot of Fortune 500 companies scale their business. Literally out here in Jersey as well. I was in charge of the whole AT&T operations and a lot of the retail locations out here in New Jersey. Okay, and I've been able to do that ever since. So right now, fast forward family, 32 years old, married, got a beautiful wife, 2 beautiful daughters, right? Love the city of New Jersey. I feel like everybody that gets married, I don't know, they live in New Jersey, so, you know, I have a good partner, so there's something about it. But, so with that being said, you know, I was like, you know, how can I take this skill? You know, how can I take exactly what I learned and how to get to that next level, right? So if you're a business owner here, or you're a person that's looking to get into entrepreneurship, let me hear you guys say "I" real quick. All right, come on, I was a little dead again. Come on, guys. If you're looking to really have that breakthrough in your life, let me hear "I" real quick. All right, that sound good, Aaron?
A little weak, they can do a little better.
All right, one more time. So you came to this city to learn some information to pursue that entrepreneurship. Let me get "I" one more time. Woo, that's some flavor right there.
Yes.
All right, perfect. So what I want to share with you guys is the revolution to making money. The evolution to making money, right? And it's called Web 3.0. Who here knows about Web 3.0? Raise your hand. Sheesh, only one person. And that's crazy because I had a conversation with him, so that's how I know he's telling the truth. Right? So let me tell you guys something about 3.0 and why it's gonna revolutionize and change this entire industry and how we make money and how we start our business. Okay, number one. Okay, super important. If a person owns a brick and mortar, okay, first and foremost, you know, we're obviously, inflation has been an all-time high since the 1960s, so that's something I want to really point out, right? Inflation has been an all-time high since the 1960s. You know, I believe, you know, reading some of the news that's going on, it might be a major announcement on a recession sometime next month, right? Sometime next month, you know, don't quote me on it, but this is just pretty much what I'm hearing. And we all know what happens when a recession happens. Scarcity, people start going crazy at the supermarkets, and there you go. So, what I want to share with you guys is how can we capitalize on Web 3.0 and create a recession-proof opportunity that could enable us from making money right from the comfort of our home. Okay? And the reason why I say that because when the pandemic happened, how many of you guys been affected by the pandemic? Right? Are you guys affected financially from the pandemic? We all have. So, you know, here I was running the whole operation for AT&T in the region of New Jersey, and what happened was the pandemic happened, and being that I was considered a non-essential employee, I was no longer able to work in the environment that I was supposed to work in, right? That allowed me to make 6 figures within that environment. So you know what I said? I said, maybe it's time to learn something new. Maybe it's time to take my skill to the next level. Maybe it's time to sit down and learn something that can allow me to elevate my skill sets on a digital level, right? So Web 3.0 came out, family. So if you're the person that's looking to start a business, right? And this is why the game is changing right now. There are a lot of people that want to start a storefront, people that want to own a brick and mortar, right? People that want to, you know, be able to sell t-shirts, be able to sell merchandise, right? But let's be honest, you could be in a city in a certain area, and if you don't have the right promotion, maybe you might not attract the foot traffic that you need to that store. right? You know, you may want to open up a store, but maybe just a certain city knows about your store, right? And we all know when it comes down to money, you know, you got to pay for certain ad spend, right? You know, pay for certain advertisements so you can get the traffic that you need so people can pretty much buy, you know, from your store digitally. So I came today because I wanted to pretty much show you guys something super important. Who here knows about the Oculus? Right? You guys know about this, right? Yes. What if I tell you that this Oculus has been allowing us to make a lot of money right now without having no overhead? Right? No overhead, right? Not having to worry about spending money on ads, because this Oculus allowed me to connect with the masses in the digital space. Okay? Now the founders that actually have the owners of the metaverse right now is Mark Zuckerberg, right? Facebook. So I want you guys to think about this real quick. I'm gonna walk you through a journey. There are millions and probably billions of people on social media. Yes or yes? Yes. Let me ask you one question. If you go into a certain city right now, can you really say that there's probably 100 million people walking there? Right? So I started putting one and one together, and I started getting into the metaverse, because there were times that I had to pay for certain ads in order to generate traffic to my business, and I spent a whole lot of money to generate traffic just to break even. Now, one thing I do know about business owners that own a brick and mortar is that they don't break even until their first 5 years of business. You guys do know that, right?
Yes. Right.
So having the dream of starting your business to then break even in your first 5 years, some people would have quit before they even got to profits. Now, think about the economic collapse that's about to happen, right? Think about the recession that's happening. So applying that on top of, you know, maybe the business owners that really want to pursue their business to the next level, it's a dying dream, and then guess what? They don't have the passion that they once had to you know, officially pursue what they really want to pursue with that vision. But what if I tell you that in the Web 3.0 space, using the Oculus, that you can walk in the metaverse digitally and have interactions with up to 10, 20, 30, 50 millions of people at one time? So let me tell you what the digital space does for you. The digital space allows you to open up your own brick and mortar in the actual digital space. Okay, so that means if there's 10 millions of people walking around in that community, they can put on the Oculus, they can go into your store, they can purchase the items that are in your store, and guess what? You can ship them the items directly either from your warehouse or your home, and they will receive that item without having to pay ad revenue, without having to worry about the overhead, and guess what? It's gonna allow you to invest into other things. All right, so think about it real quick. I'm in a digital space that's gonna allow me to, you know, make more money. I'm in a digital space that's gonna allow me to walk into somebody's space. You know, we heard about the cannabis event. Imagine if we had the cannabis event in the metaverse. In the room right now, we probably got about like 50, 60 people in the room. So imagine you're in the metaverse and you wanted to do an event and you got 10,000 people at your event. 10,000 people hear about your product and service. Now we go based off of what? The laws of averages. Anybody know what the laws of averages is? The more people you speak to, the more likely your percentages are to closing those individuals. If I'm in the metaverse and I have an event with 10,000 people in the metaverse, how many people do you think will actually want to, you know, purchase my items? Probably about 500. So there's 10,000 people. Out of those 10,000 people, 1,000 people are going to make the decision. Out of those 1,000 people, 500 people are going to close, right? So I want you to think far beyond the box, right, and have that depth of vision, right? Because one thing I want to share with you is depth of vision. You know, you got to see, just don't look at a tree, right, when it's in front of you. Look at what the tree can do for you. Can that tree become a house? With that tree, can you build a street? Can you build a building? Can you own a business, right? It's about the longevity and the growth of what it is that you guys are really trying to accomplish. That's going to allow you to really get to where you need to be, right? So, I highly recommend for those that don't know me, you guys can follow me on Instagram at Johnathan the Mentor. I'm an actual mentor. I mentor people on how to get into the digital space. All right, I show people the fundamentals. I'm currently a financial educator in the foreign exchange market. Also teaching cryptocurrency on how to get into the right, investments that could allow you to understand your way of making money. All right, so I don't want to take up too much of the time. I want to pass this floor over to an individual that I got to be able to connect with. This is somebody that I had office space across the room, across the hall from, and we got connected from a mutual friend of mine. This person, one thing I always learn is that you don't meet people and be in certain circumstances by happenstance. It's called divine intervention, right? And the only thing that allows you to connect with certain people in certain places and things is time, right? And one thing I learned about time stands for the things that I must experience. So I have to experience certain things in order to get the things that I want to accomplish, right? And I've been able to connect with this selfless individual, being able to meet him. I walked into his office space one day, and I was like, yeah, this is that guy. This is that guy. The way his office was set up, into the laws of attraction, and really speaking on that high, frequency, and really attracting what a successful person is supposed to attract. And I knew that we were going to do big things, And like they say, if you want to attract what you want to attract, it starts with the thought. Then you write it on paper. Then when you write it on paper, whatever you write on paper, you can have in your hands, right? Super, super important. And I want to tell you guys something. It all starts in your daily routine. Study the masses and do the opposite, and I promise you, you'll get the results. If that person doesn't want to go, if you're the person that's like, you know what, but I don't want to go to the gym, go to the gym. Do the things that make you uncomfortable. Because it's always the things that make you uncomfortable that get you the most results. It's almost like taking a protein shake. You don't like the taste of it, but you like the results when you see it, right? So with that being said, guys, I want to give this floor over to the man, the myth, the legend, my brother, Mr. Adrian Jones. Give one of applause.
Everybody give Johnathan the Mentor a round of applause. Johnathan the Mentor. Yes. High honors to everybody in the building. Give yourselves a round of applause for even being here today. It's very special that you're here today, getting the opportunity to give back to the community. The time is now. We counted out. I just want you guys to know they counted us out. The minorities, the African American group by 2052, the national medium is supposed to reach 0 by 2053, and by 2072, the Hispanic national medium is supposed to reach 0. So they counted us out, right? So what are we going to do about it? Do we have any ideas of other ways to gain residual income in our lives at the moment? No? Then the reason why you're here in this building today is a very good reason. Because today we're going to give you some tools that you could use moving forward in your life to defeat the odds. And that's all we've been doing all our lives, is defeating the odds. Nobody would, I didn't even think that I'd be up here with the ability to teach people what I've learned, but I, went deep into the books and did my due diligence and my research, and I have a nonprofit organization called Second Chance Financial Program right now. And what I do is I mentor the different inner city communities across New Jersey. We mentor the youth, financial literacy. We teach them about credit, investing. We teach them how to leverage their credit, because a lot of people could have good credit and not know what to do with it. A lot of people don't know what credit cards to get when they have good credit. They just accept whatever credit cards come in the mail. They don't know that you can get a credit card that has reward points for using gas. In a time like this where we're using gas all the time. You take that card, you use your card for gas, and guess what? They give you points back. By the end of the month, you could accumulate 1,000 points, $1,000 in points that you could use for other investments or to take care of other obligations. These are the things that are not being taught to the inner city community. And I have a couple mentees. One of them couldn't be here today. He's 18. He has a 800 credit score, his own trucking business, right? And he's also able to teach his family and help his family, help them fix their credit and build it and leverage it as well. So, I feel like, I'm doing my job that I'm sent here to do. I'm doing this out of my own pocket. I don't have any funding from anybody. It's just something that I feel needs to be done. I live by the words, standing in the center of your own acre of diamonds, right? It's a book actually by the founder of Temple University, Russell Conwell. He traveled how he got the money for Temple University. He traveled the world giving a speech called Standing in the Middle of Your Own Acre of Diamonds, right? And it was a true story about an African farmer who consulted with the priest in the city and told this priest, he said, you know what? In the time where diamond mines are abundant in the continent, I want to sell my farm and I want to travel looking for diamonds. So the priest gave him, words of wisdom, said, if that's what you want to do, go do it. So the man sold his farm. He went and traveled the continent looking for diamonds all over the continent of Africa, right? So what happens? He never finds any diamonds. He ends up committing suicide, actually. So the person who he sold his farm to happens to be walking by the stream in the back of his farm and notices a nice pretty rock. So he picks it up, puts it in his house. The same priest ends up coming back to visit the man to see how he's doing on the new farm and how he likes it. So once the priest enters the house, he sees the rock and he says, oh my God, where'd you get this rock from? And then the new owner of the land says, oh, I found it out back in the valley. It's a bunch of them back there. So the priest goes back there in the back of the farm in the valley with the new owner of the farm, and he sees all of these luxurious pieces of rocks. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The new farmer that bought the land from the old farmer discovered the biggest diamond reserve in all of Africa. Right there, in the farm that the man sold to go run looking the whole continent for diamonds. And it was right where he was living at. All he had to do was look there, right there where he stood within him. So I live by that because, I was a victim of innocent bystander. I got shot, right? I was a barber, actually. So I got shot, and I was unable to make any income because my legs, I got shot in the leg, I couldn't stand up and cut hair, right? So what did I do? Well, after I got evicted from my house because I couldn't pay the rent, obviously, I felt like, this isn't the end of me. I studied and I did my research and I opened my own credit repair company and I started helping people with credit. And I built my credit, before I started helping people, I built my credit to a 745, right? I went to the dealership, I went to multiple dealerships and got multiple vehicles with no money down on the cars and no money down on insurance. And I did all of this by doing my due diligence and my research. Well, how can I improve my situation? Within 30 days, I was gaining $4,000 a month in income. Positive income that was profitable in my pocket after handling all my obligations. And I bought these cars, I put them on Turo. Anybody in here know the app Turo? Yeah? Okay, so I had the cars on Turo, they're renting out, I'm receiving residual income, and I went back to the community and I gave them this same play. Listen, I could tell you right now how you could go to the dealership, go get a whip with no money down, no money on insurance. I say that to a lot of people don't believe me, but it's true. 15 USC 1605, Truth in Lending, allows us to go to the dealership and have them add the insurance into our finance charge when we're setting up the deal. So once you go to the dealership, there's no more putting in your own insurance on the car. You tell the dealer, hey, listen, I want you to include my insurance in my finance charge. And they have to do it. If you don't tell them, they're gonna tell you that to go get your own insurance. You understand? So that's where the knowledge comes into play, doing your due diligence and learning things like that. So I was, after the 30 days, I got my registration, I was able to leverage my good credit. And that's just one of the aspects that I teach the people about gaining passive income, right? So, right now in this room, remember I told you, it's 2,053 we counted out, right? So the question I want to know now, I want to ask everybody in this room, are you one of the people that are counted out in 2053, or are you standing in the center of your own acre of diamonds? If you're standing in the center of your own acre of diamonds, I want to hear you make some noise right now. If you're counted out and your household medium is going to reach 0 by 2053, I want to hear you make some noise right now. Nah, I don't want to hear you make no noise. I want you to be in these type of events, networking with these type of people and finding out situations and opportunities where you can change the dynamic and change the narrative of our people and our community. So, you know, my name again, Aaron Jones. You can follow me on Instagram. I am Aaron Jones. I have personal and business profile development company, Money Magnet Moves LLC, where I help people, you know, build their credit up and leverage it as well. So, you know, I would like to, anybody after we're done with the program, we can all, you know, exchange information and network. And I look forward to seeing you in the next event and maybe the next one after that. And, you know, hopefully we can reach somebody that can use some of the information that we gave y'all today. Thank you so much. I don't want to take up a lot of your time. My name is Aaron Jones. High honors to all of y'all.
All right, one more round of applause for our amazing speakers. Now, we still have one more speaker that's going to come up and talk to you guys, but real quick, I just wanted to bring up Antoinette from our Special Improvement District, just to say a real brief sentence or two just to greet everybody, because she's a very influential person in the city and doing a lot of things to try to get things right. So round of applause.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to bring you greetings from the Plainfield Special Improvement District. We are here to help promote prosperity in Plainfield. Our objective is, if there's something that our small businesses need to help them succeed, that's the service we want to provide. We're not in a little box. It's one staff member, that's me. But I am very resourceful and I reach out to people who have the answers. I don't always have the answers. If you call me, you will definitely get an answer. It may not be the one you like, but you will get an answer. And if there's someone who can do what you need done, I will try to connect you to the person. Our office is right on North Avenue, down the street from the train station, and right around the corner from the food truck festivals. So I hope to see each and every one of you at different points in your journey.
All right, thank you. And thank you guys for speaking. Next, I'm gonna have Terrance Macon go. We had the same story as Johnathan and Aaron. I had the ability to talk to him on the phone, and we share some of the same views. And that's what we talk about, of being around like-minded people. So as you guys network, try to find people that's like you, that have the same goals that you do. And as you guys are growing, you want to grow with people that's in a positive space. As millennials, we talk about vibes. Buy with those who want to push you. Don't be the one that you're always inspiring people to do you want people to inspire you to be great as well. So I'm gonna turn the mic over to Terrance. Yeah, should the count person.
All right, how everybody doing? All right, bear with me, I ain't used to speaking. I spoke at the last event, just out the blue. But I'd like to share my story and what I'm doing in the near future is helping people learn how to start their own business and everything of that nature, how to build your credit, how to get a residual income. My name is Terrance Macon, and I'm currently the co-owner of Dirty Busters Cleaning Service out of Middlesex, New Jersey, from Brunswick, New Jersey. I started it up with my wife. It's a family business, and we started off small, but now we're actually doing very well, 6 figures a year, and it worked out for me. She asked me to just give a little background on how I started. I did most of my 20s incarcerated. I came home in 2010, and I was working a 9 to 5. I got on the right path, and I was working a 9 to 5. But I seen I wanted to live a certain lifestyle, live a certain way, and that wasn't generating the money I needed to do the things I wanted to do. And I always had a business mindset, but working a 9 to 5 wasn't going to make that happen. So a friend of mine told me before I got incarcerated, he had told me about cleaning, like start your cleaning business. So when I came home, I worked for about a year straight. I ended up getting 2 jobs, got an evening job, I had a full-time job. And I ended up buying into a cleaning company called Vanguard. If anybody ever heard of that, I ended up buying into a cleaning franchise. I was making decent money with them. I kept my 9 to 5. Eventually, I wanted to transfer over to just doing cleaning. But they actually was taking a little bit more money than they were supposed to. I just felt kind of funny. I was putting in a lot of work, and when I was getting my check, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I need to do something else. So what I did, I learned how to get my own LLC. I eventually learned that the workman's comp, the liability insurance really didn't cost as much once I learned the inside information. You know what I mean? For example, I got $1 million liability insurance on my company and I only paid like $50-something a month. I got $1 million workman's comp policy for my business and only paid $100-something. But when I first learned this, I'm thinking it's hundreds and hundreds of dollars that I gotta take out to get this. Now, once I learned that, I went off on my own. So one of the first things I did, which my partner right here had put me up on, was, what was that? What's that app that we use? Home Advisors. I started with Home Advisors. So I started doing houses at first. I started with Home Advisors doing houses. Now, the house thing was good, but I didn't like going in people's houses. People had dogs, I'm scared of animals, and all that stuff like that. But that one was bringing in the money. I didn't want to go back to work. That one was bringing in the money. So when you focus on something, I'm like, I gotta do this right now. Because I don't want to go answer to somebody else. So I stuck with that. Right before COVID hit, it's funny because right before COVID hit, I started getting on the internet and stuff, finding a company. I found this company that was similar to Vanguard, but it was a little different. They had bigger contracts as far as warehouses and stuff like that nature. So I linked with them, but the only difference between them and the franchise I brought in, if I walked into a contract and they showed me around and told me what I had to do, what they was gonna pay me at the end of the month is what I got. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no hidden fees. So it wasn't like when they cut me the check, or they took out for this, they took out for this, they took out for this. No, if they told me they're giving me $1,000 a month for this contract, that's what I got at the end of the month. So what I would do, Vanguard, I did learn something from Vanguard because I took a class and they told me how to estimate and they told me how to manage each contract and they taught me how to go in if it takes you 3 hours to do this, with your equipment, what you need, this and that, how to estimate the contract. So with that knowledge that I did receive from them, I took it when I went on my own. When I went on my own, I linked up with this company and that's where I took off. Now, for a lot of people, you know, the pandemic was a downfall for a lot of people, but to God's grace, it helped me out. I made the most money I've ever made in my life during the pandemic because I was the essential service. I was a cleaning business. And people that would still stay open, it was mandatory by the state that they had certain things that needed to be done to keep their business open. So guess what? I was in the right business at the right time. And I made the most money that I ever made in my life during that period of time. You know what I mean? So I stuck with that. But in between time, I also learned how to fix my credit. I learned how to fix my credit with one of my partners right here, my brother. He taught me the streams, the way to go about fixing my credit. In the meantime, as I was making money, I fixed my credit, right? As I fixed my credit, from a couple of my brothers, Hockaday and everybody, we all got together, we all shared information, we all networked. I went in for funding. When I went in for funding, I was able to get between $30,000 and $50,000 with my credit score. But what I did with that, I took that money and invested in other things. I'm now in real estate with my partner right here, have a house in Trenton. We have a land property that we just sold on a partner, and we're in the process of going to Bar Lounge on South New Jersey. That's another stream of income. You have to, once you start generating the money, you have to get different streams of income that generate you money. So when something else falls, you have something else that'll pick you up, it'll level it out. And between that time, we also did the trucking thing. You know, I used to be on the road with the trucking. We also, I dabbled in a couple of little things. I don't want to get too deep into it. I'm just going to give you the basic story. But the reason I like to speak and give the information I want because it's possible. Because a lot of people, when they see my success now, they didn't think it could happen. You know, I did a whole 360, you know what I mean? And it's a blessing, and I thank God that I'm able to give back and show people, you know, the steps that I took in order to be successful in life. Right now, I'm in the process of having a cleaning course that I will be selling online. And we also have a group that we'll put together online for mentorship, where we have a group of people that we all work together. We all doing our own thing in different fields, but we're all connected, where we can guide people into doing certain things and to help the youth and the people to progress, just like they said, and where you're going to be at in 2053. You know what I mean? Even if you're not here, you need to give the information to the younger people that's not here. So when you're dead and gone, you know you left something strong and keep like, I do this for my daughter. Like I want my daughter to learn from me and to know and to really be a boss and understand that she can get it on her own and establish whatever she want to do in life and not have to. Now I don't think this. Some people, if you have like I said, not a professional, want to be a doctor or whatever, they may get money you can live, but I want her to have something of her own, and you know what I'm saying, that she has and that she can do on her own and say, I accomplished this, and this is mine. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, I'm going to pass it over to my partner, my brother, my friend, and he's going to give you a little insight of how he started with the British state and what he did to get to what it is.
I'm really prepared to talk today. I just came to show support to my brothers and things like that. So I said, you know what, asked me to speak. I said, okay, no problem. Appreciate you guys, everybody that showed was there. Obviously, you guys are ready for success and ready to go to the next level. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just talking about what I do. You know, I'm not do too much public speaking, but I'm just saying what I do. Just what I came from the bottom. So that's all I can talk about. I came from the bottom and rise to the top. So the first thing what I really did, and which pretty much probably everybody already know, it starts with you. You feel what I'm saying? So you gotta change. If you want to change your life, if you want a 6-figure, 7-figure business, you gotta look within you. So I started looking within myself first. I said, let me change my mental. Let me change my spiritual. Let me change my physical, you know, for the right, for the positive. Let me start incorporating and surrounding myself around people that got the same mindset as I do, that's doing the same things I'm doing. So now it'll be less that you're not getting in trouble anymore. You know, the things that you're attracting in life, the things that you want is going to come to you easily and more fast because you're vibrating on that certain frequency level. You understand what I'm saying? So that's where everything starts from. Forget business, forget all that. If you want to get started with you, because then after with you, then you can help better your family. you help better your business, help better your community, and that's what we're here for today. So as I was sitting there and listening to everyone speak, everyone did a great, awesome job, and how we all think is solution-based. So I'm thinking like, what's the solution? Everything, it's always a problem that needs to get fixed. So I'm always thinking about solution. So, you know, as you know, we're always in the mix of talking and things like that. How can we help better the community? How can we help Plainfield, this city, many other cities, and maybe this would be the landmark city that we start from to build something great that the whole world can copy and imitate. So that's what my mindset is thinking. So, you know, now we start like, you know what, we really did it. We really came from the bottom, because what happens is, especially in, you know, urban communities and things like that, and other communities as well too, it's a lack of knowledge and a lack of finances. So with the lack of knowledge, we don't even know how to even get into the business we want to get into. Do you understand what I'm saying? With the lack of finances, we like, damn, I know what I want to do, but I don't got the money. Yeah, but if you got the money, then you may not have the information. You know what I'm saying? So what we want to do is we want to combine that and put that together, and that's what we're here to you know, put forth today. And you know, after we're still like in the mix of creating it. Actually, I'm like done with one of my courses is how to flip down in test script. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna have a course on how to flip houses. I'm gonna have a course on how to open a barbershop, how to open a trucking business. Because these are all businesses that I still have. You understand? I'm selling my truck and I'm getting rid of that. But these are all businesses that I actually have, and these are all my friends. My A got the credit repair business, cleaning business. Johnathan has a mentoring program where he does different various businesses of himself. But with me, for example, and I'm gonna name Supreme being Mastery Academy. You understand? To give back to my people. You understand what I'm saying? Because once I give them the education, listen, I'm gonna give you the blueprint. How you go out on your own. Let me show you step by step. Because so many people want to hold that information and want to charge you and things like that. But I like to listen. Let me help you make this money. Let me help you cash that check, and then get you over something. That's the key element, and that's what's keeping us down, because that lack of education to get to that business and that entrepreneurial business you want to tap into, you don't know. You understand? And that's how they're weeding us out, and that's how they keep us down, is that education with the with the finances. Now we're showing you how to build your credit. We're showing you how to create other streams of income and revenue. So now you can fund your own business. You know the information what you can do, so that we can put it together, and that we can go and be successful. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, all these things, you know, you gotta have it entwined with one another, and you gotta start, and that's why I always start with yourself first. Start with yourself, and then you can go out to other, and spread out to other things. So, and I'm just telling you a story, and you know how I got into this thing, I'm gonna make this quick, short, and simple. You know, I started out, I was a, how do you call it, like a superintendent for my complex. So I did that. I was always hustling and doing my thing. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna take on this one. So I'm like 19. I started my first cleaning when I was 16. Didn't fail. That's another thing. Failure is a part of success. I failed many times. Yeah, I like to fail. That's how I learned. Now I got all the keys. You understand? But anyways, back into the story. Started out as a superintendent. I was doing painting, laying down tile, things like that. Then I started doing demo jobs, like side contract job, doing demo job. I met this dude. He had a Jag park in front. You know, it's, you know, then you come from a community, nice car, you had tracks. I'm like, oh, see how you do that? He's like, flip houses. I said, I want to learn how to do that. So he just like, so this is what you do. Go down into the church, and they had like, it was like when you could get like their first time home buyers program, and churches do it, some banks do it, some outreach resource community people do it. You go there and get like first time home buyer program, teach about down payment money, what you need to get, and things like that, how to fix your credit, get your tax returns right, bank statements, cash flow, things like that. Because you gotta have all these credentials lined up to even purchase the house. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, I got all that. So I just start working, getting my credit right, getting my tax returns right, getting my bank statements together. You understand what I'm saying? Getting my cash flow right, getting the knowledge, started going to meetups and entrepreneur events so I could get around the same people that had the right same mindset, and talking to real estate attorneys, talking to contractors, talking to title companies, anybody you name it, I was talking to other wholesalers, and I was just scared. I'm like, I'm gonna make this thing happen. That's it. I don't care. I really sing clothes every day. I gotta make this thing happen. So long story short, I ended up making it happen. Then I started doing wholesaling. You know, I started with my boy. I started investing with him. What case he was doing fix and flip, started getting profit off that. Then I started doing wholesaling. Then I start fixing and flipping, then I start buying and holding. And the buying and holding, I really like it because I get that residual income. Up until a point now, just 2 years ago, I bought my first building in Trent, actually next to the house that we got. You know, and it's a 6-unit building. So now all I want is buildings now. You understand what I'm saying? So now I want more of that. I want more, but I always got the solution in my mind. How can I better my community? You understand what I'm saying? But you gotta be the example first. Like, listen, I really did it. I can really take you by the hand. Listen, this is what I did about the house. Let's go get your credit score real quick. Let's go to the let's go check your taxes, put in your tax account. Let's go to the real estate attorney. Let's go talk to the mortgage broker. So that's what we really need in order to really build a community. Let's take these kids, whoever's a step by step, hand by hand. I did real estate, and I even day trade stocks now. You understand what I'm saying? I've been doing that for the past 2 years. Day trading stocks. I got a barbershop. I got multiple businesses, like, and I really should. Let's go to my business right now. Let's go, because I never like talk. This is what I like to do, and I think that's the solution to building a community. Let's take these kids by the hand. Come on, let's open up the LLC right now. Let's go open up the bank account with I forget the name again. That's here with PNC. Let's open up the bank account right now. Come on, let's go find your contract right now by the hand, and that's what's going to boost it up. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, you don't got no money, don't worry about it. I got you when you go right here, boom. Go get 10, 20,000 right there. So it's no excuse for how to feel like the education and the finances. And then after this, I'm gonna shut it, I'm gonna cut it off. So this is why we create these courses, because this course is gonna tell you, it's a blueprint on how to get rich. You understand? And forget being rich, it's about being wealthy for your family, being rich mentally, healthy, spiritually, all that's combined in one. When you get money and doing things and going to the next level in life. So, and my real goal to really exit our people and get us out of bondage, we need to be self-sustaining. So now, I want to go town shop. We need to own the town. Yes. You understand? The only way we're going to own the town is we all are self-sufficient and one with ourselves. So now we own the utility company. We own the water bill company. We own the school system. We own the bank. We own the town. We own everything. We own the municipal department. We have our own little army just in case things get ugly. We're not here to rebel, but we need that too. And that's what's hurting us because we're not self-sufficient. We don't make our own medicine. We don't make our own food. We don't make our own clothes. You understand what I'm saying? We don't make the 3 necessities of life: food, clothes, shelter. So if we make that, we control that town, now we're creating currency for ourselves. So forget just business, now we're creating real wealth and power. Because now we own currency, we're creating our own currency, and that's my real goal really to get to. But before we get there, we got to start there and start with you. Everybody building up. Like this is my prime example. It's a little small circle. He got the credit business, cleaning company, real estate, mentorship. We all cycling and creating our own money within one another. You understand what I'm saying? Now we're taking it, now we can really create wealth and power. We control the school, what's going into our kids' minds. You understand what I'm saying? We're going, the health system, the food that we eat, we controlling that. So vice versa, I don't want to be repetitive, but just having that, now we got real power, we got real wealth. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm ending off at this particular moment. And as soon as we're done, I want to really put these courses, I want to get connected with everybody in this room. So as soon as we're done with these courses, we all can work with one another. Listen, let's take each other by the hand. Let's do this business, let's do that business, let's do this. Let me show you how to do it. You understand what I'm saying? Forget just telling you or giving you a book. No, come on, let's take it. I don't care if it takes 3-4 months. Let's do it. And now that information is never lost. It's never lost. Now you pay your money, residual income for yourself, and it don't stop. So now, when you go out and you out in the world, now you keep spreading, and that's how we change our community and able to build it up. And that's really the key. We need to be self-sufficient. Take our entrepreneurial skills, build up, and then become self-sufficient. So now we town shop, we going to steel shop. Now we going to buy, I buy gold ounces of gold, I buy silver, all these things, real true wealth. But see, these things we don't know because a lot of us don't study, and sometimes the information is hidden from us. Feel me? So we bring it to the forefront so we can help the community and make it pop. And now, this very moment, I'm in a new mansion now. In a new mansion. So when people see me, I say, I'm still not happy. I still can't sleep because my people don't got it. And we really not self-sufficient. Because the longer we let them control the laws, we have to do the lawmakers. We got to control the law. We control the law. We control the police. We control everything that's around. You know what I'm saying? Forget just, we like to march, which is great. We like to, do certain other things, certain things, but we have to control that currency and the knowledge. And we really got to take control over the land. You understand? And that's when the real power and the wealth, we can really make, that's the solution to the feeling that's the bottom. But yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up because that's the solution what we need for education and finance. That's what we need in order to really change this. And really, we can really build it up strong. You understand? Now we train kings and queens. And they nervous sometimes when I come back. I'm like, oh, because I don't see it. I like to talk. I really want to talk to that. Because they let me talk about work. I work every day. I don't sleep 7 days a week. If you want to be successful, be an entrepreneur. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the true wealth. That's the real true power. You can't take that away from you.
Thank you, fellas. All right, so when I first started to become an entrepreneur, there was so many ideas that I had. I was all over the place. This one individual helped me. She helped me to be patient and to be diligent with what I was doing and how I was getting things done. She was able to help me to group things together and properly educate how to run a business, what I need to do in terms of how to run a business, how to get registered. And so the next individual that I'm calling up is Miss Audrey McNulty. So for those who are here that for the first time who have a business but doesn't know the proper way to go about registering a business, she is going to tell you how to do so. So Miss Audrey, you can come up.
I don't know how to help them. Good afternoon. It's phenomenal. I love it. I am first time. Can you hear me without the mic? I'm really loud. Really loud. I'm not sure if you know, I started doing business 14 years ago. At 36, I had my first kid, and at 40, I had my last kid, so I got a bunch of teenagers running around. But I opened up daycare centers years ago. I was walking and went to take my children to go to a daycare center. They told me how much it cost, and I said, I promise you I'm going to open. From that point on, I opened 9. I just came from South Jersey, and I started to realize, I don't know how many of you guys know the big change. You know, there's a lot of change out there, Kindercastle, learning experience, you name it. To buy into a franchise, you have to buy into a franchise at $500,000 to $1 million. When I started to realize you only need $135 to open a daycare center, I started to read. So what happens to us as people is if you don't get knowledge, you don't understand what happened. A couple of years ago, and the reason why I'm starting on this end, about 2018, I had somebody walk into my business and give me a partnership, $500,000. They walked in and gave me cash. In 6 months, because I was ignorant, didn't understand, I used that money in 6 months. I did not double my profit. I did not do extra stuff. I did not have wisdom. Now, we can teach you all day and share with you all day. But if you don't know how to multiply it, we're no good for each other. So I started to realize that I needed wisdom on how to grow what everybody was coming to me to look for. I started to give out about 2016. We had an entrepreneur class like this. I was trying to find a seed network. It was called the Seed Network. I literally gave out $78,000 that year to small businesses. Why? Because if you grow, if you're better, I'm better. And we don't understand as a people, when we're together, we're better. Those are facts. Now think about childcare. You may say I'm not into children. I'm literally 53 and I do not work at any of my facilities. I would not begin to tell you, and it's not bragging, I would not begin to tell you how much I pay monthly. I wear what I wear, I do what I wear, and I travel because I want to. The reason being is because my desire now is to meet with people to open businesses, open your business. I don't want to have no percentage of it. I want to make sure that you're successful, because for so many years, people have given people money to open businesses that they can do themselves for $5. Facts. I can teach you how to go online where you're paying a lawyer $1,500, where you can register your own business and get a free EIN number. Facts, right? I realized that the first time ever in my life, my credit score is 801. I did it on my own without paying anybody. Facts. I'll also start with this. My educational system that I grew up in, I was born and raised in New Brunswick. I was in remedial classes. I've learned how to read at 16. I was not educated. When I saw my son's face, my whole life changed. When I saw his face, I went back to college. I barely made it out with a 2.5, but I went. Woo. At 42, I went back for my master's, you understand? I don't like to begin to talk about certain things. I began to cry because nobody really dug into me to say, hey, listen, I'm here for you. And let's move to the next step without anything being connected to it. I am not bragging, I'm telling you, but I know for a fact that God has been faithful to me. And every time I went to do something, I began to read. If you do not read, now, if you are a visionary, you have to be, like the brother said, you have to be a visionary. You have to see yourself doing it. Nobody wants you to have it. You have to go after it. You have to desire. You have to look within yourself and realize you're better than where you are. And you can accomplish this thing. At both of my locations, Coach Brown could tell you, Coach Erica could tell you, I have millionaires sitting at my table offering me between $50,000 and $100,000 per month, $500,000, and I'm not bragging, to buy me out of businesses that I started to be discouraging that I wanted to sell. Oh, by the way, I don't own any of the business that houses my daycare centers, except one that I'm in the middle of buying, right? I said all of that to say is, you may say you're not into childcare. I have not been a teacher in any of one of my classes at anyone, but I love the children. I always had people working for me from day one. I'll say this, I'll encourage you with this. If you ever get connected, right where you're getting connected right now, and you begin to network, you'll start to realize you have more wealth in this little room than they have in the whole entire city.
Yes. Yep.
We are people who will not get connected and build each other up. Now, I said it to somebody in the meeting, it's a true story. I can sit with you and tell you a bad story, and we can talk about that bad story for 5 hours. But as soon as I ask you to come up with a vision, as soon as I ask you, let's put something together that's going to be beneficial for us, you're like, what? Wait, what? And we got to think about it. But get something back. We can do that. I am a child advocate. You know why? Because they didn't teach me how to read when I was in first grade. I didn't know in second grade. I didn't know in third grade. I learned how to read at 16, and I sit across from senators and different ones getting money. I have a grant writer. You understand? Things that I didn't know that I could accomplish, I was able to accomplish. And nobody ever sat at the table and said, call Audrey. I was not one of the kids that they did college tours with. You understand? And now we have our own children that are not getting the same exact education. They are in schools and they're socially promoting our children until they drop out. And we won't fight for it. It's horrible. It's horrible. So that's where I am. I'm a child advocate. I'm here. I told Miss Erica, I'll make myself available for free for anybody. I literally started a TikTok a couple of weeks ago and I got 512 followers. It's not a lot, but I am doing an ebook, how to open your own daycare center, step by step. You can own a daycare center without being a part of a daycare center. You can make anything, and I'll say this. How many of us have more kids than people who got more money? I sit there and I say to you, how many children you have? You say one, I say, you're bad for business. And they start laughing. But the truth is, minorities, we're the one that have more children. And we put our children in these places. Now, I'll say this, I'm not the best daycare center, but I'm a loving daycare center. I'll also say this, we're not just small mom and pop. Every single one of our buildings are 3 stories. and we just started teaching kindergarten. And my prayers go to third grade. Why? Because if our children get the foundation of teaching in third grade, then they are going to soar like never before. I don't want my child getting their degree at 42. I want them to be able to get it at 12 to be desired. Now I have a baby girl that don't want to go to college, but I'm teaching her entrepreneurship, and she'll go around people at heads with money. And she's only 14. Now, I'm not saying everybody has to have a degree, because when I opened up the daycare centers, I didn't have one. I went after one, but every daycare center I wanted to open, I wanted to make sure I was able to open it and run my own until I can get somebody I can afford to put in there. There's so much money out there to be made. There's so many visions, flipping houses, whatever you have, you can sow back into your centers, you can sow back into your areas, and we can get it. I'm a giver. I think that's probably why mine multiplied, and I'm not a bragger. I was poor, and I won't say I'm wealthy yet, but I got a wealth of information that people are paying for. So I appreciate this. I'm late. I know I'm late. The little information that I did hear. If you have any questions for me, I mean, listen, they're my heart. I'm not here. You would never know I have a little bit. Because I don't sport, I'm gonna tell you where I live, I ain't gonna tell you how much I got, I ain't gonna tell you what. I will say this, I tell everybody that sit with me, if I can make what I make monthly, what we're gonna do together, then I'll go on with you and leave mine. But there is a lot out there. You have to have a vision, you have to have a passion, and you have to have a drive. And don't ever let anybody tell you you can't. And I would close with this. I want everybody, if you get an opportunity, if you don't know this, grants.gov, go into grants.gov. There's a wealth of money out there that you didn't even tap into because you don't even know it exists. For what you're doing. For what you're doing. Go in that search box, grants.gov, Google and grants.gov, what you like to do, and it'll come up there. And I promise you, reach out to me, you can find you a grant writer that will give you $100,000 and more for what you like to do. They have to sow into minority businesses, facts. Your local government has to majority. And another thing I'll tell you, with COVID hitting, if you're looking for space to rent, if you want to do certain things, if you need office space, you can go in and negotiate with people because they already got money that pay for their spaces for the next 2 years. I'm literally going step by step how to open up a daycare center that I don't need, just to teach people how to open it, right? And I'm going step by step. I negotiated with the landlord 6 months free. You can do it. I don't think I'm the only one. You need to get with somebody that you can share your vision with, that can really pick your brain and say, we'll help you go to the next step, and I'm not asking you for a penny, not a penny, and I'm willing to do that. So there's so many things out there. Talk my brother, the cleaning business. I don't know the cleaning business, but what happens with the business? You get people to clean all your daycare centers. I don't have a cleaning business. These strip floors, I need a strip floor. I'll let you strip. You understand? There you go. Listen, I'm just saying there's so, listen, I have the food program. How many of y'all got kids that can cook? You know, we don't know how to network. I got 5 businesses in every single one of my daycare center that you can own your own, right? You come in, you give me a contract. I'm gonna clean both of your business. I'll do this, how much? I'm gonna do a walkthrough. But what happened is we give up. You come 5 weeks, right? And you realize how big the daycare center is. You don't want to make that money anymore, but you feel like you can make it faster. But what you don't understand, I'm trying to tell my brother, is you don't clean it. What you do is give the person a contract, then you hire people to do what you're doing. That's how you start. I promise you, I'm 53 going to 54. And I don't work at any one of my daycare centers. If you ever look at my social media, you'll see me taking pictures. I'm laughing and I'm singing birthday songs. And I'm in my staff dude, did you sign our check? And now we're on the way to opening up to a 3rd grade. Why? Because it's really not the money we're investing into our children. Because the truth is, we could be raising the next doctor, the next lawyer, the next president, but we don't know to tell our children that. Why? Because we're not doing it. Yeah. I went back to school because I wanted my child to go to school. I'm telling you, I learned how to read at 16 facts. I barely got out of high school facts. I did fluff papers in college to get through. I got out facts. And for those of you who don't want to go to college, listen, I was an entrepreneur successfully before I went to college. Because it's not for everybody, I'm not saying that. But at least let our children learn how to get past 5th grade without being socially promoted. I'm a child advocate. I don't want to see my son on 130. I don't want my son to go back through some of the things that my family members went through. I have a sister living in Briggs. I don't want that. So we don't want that. We want to change, right? So I love the information. I have information. You want information, you can check out my website in the future. I'm not trying to pull anybody out. All I'm saying is I believe that if we network, we can grow each other's businesses. If you have a vision and you're serious, I don't have nothing but time. Daytime or nighttime, catch up with Miss Erica. You have any questions, you have any comments, I am available. Why? Because it's not just daycare that I do. I'll close with this. I have a nonprofit organization called Dare to Be Different, right? And on the back it says, because you're uniquely you, just received $50,000 for young people off the street, young people out of incarceration. That's my passion. That's my drive. We give jobs. We try to get them educated. So I'm saying this, we can do it together. If you have a nonprofit organization, you need to know your rights with nonprofit organization. You need to know you must have a board. You need to know you have voting rights. You need to know that you don't technically own your nonprofit. Some of us don't know that. The board could vote you out with your vision and continue to run it. Some of you don't know that your local government, your local cities owe you money. Some of y'all don't know that. Don't even know how to go after it. But it's available to you. They're not sharing some things. Why? Because as long as we don't read, as long as we don't go out and research, as long as we don't care, we won't get it. Any questions? I hope I didn't bore you. Yes.
Well,
I'm done. No question. Okay. I just had surgery right eye, so if I'm walking, I need to.
Once the
All
battle.
right, Terrance can go, and then Terri go.
Check, check. All right, so how many of y'all have been blessed by the amazing knowledge that's been shared tonight? I mean, I guess it's still daytime, but you know what I'm saying. I appreciate y'all for coming out. So we're gonna have a very quick Q&A. If anybody has any questions, we'll be going around with a mic. Once again, we have a wealth of knowledge up here. We have years of real life experience, real entrepreneurial experience. So regardless of what it is that you're trying to do, I'm sure that you're gonna gain something from them. So does anybody have any questions in the audience?
How you doing, panel? Thank you guys so much for everything you said. Like, I was listening, like, oh my God. My first question is, are you guys reading anything right now?
Did you say reading? I go back. He said, are you reading anything right now?
Yeah, yep.
So currently what I do is I like to reference back to the books that inspired me the most. Like I'll go to The Secret by Earl Nightingale, or go to Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. What's another good book? It's a bunch of them out there, man. You know, any book that you feel as though, you know, is inspirational and, you know, motivational, those are the ones that I suggest, especially if you're trying to, you know, further your financial situation. And those are the type of books, motivational, inspirational, financial books you should be looking for.
Because I'm not reading, so I'll let him answer.
Yo, I was just about to say,
I read, but not good.
I don't read like that. I did at one point, but right now, I'm reading something that has to do with my agenda and what business I'm trying to start, and what business I'm in, real estate and stuff. That's what I read. As far as I don't even have, I get sleepy when I'm sitting at home reading a book. I don't read. What'll keep me up is gonna be this next contract. I'm reading that to the T, 5 print, everything. That's the only thing I read.
And I write a lot. I write.
You write a lot?
I write a lot. I write every vision, everything that comes to my mind, my next
Yeah.
step. Right, yep.
That's cool, miss. I write a lot too. I guess another question for you guys. This is my business partner over here. He tells me I'm weird all the time for asking this, but are you guys looking up anything on YouTube, or like what you guys been looking up on YouTube?
Oh, your mic away from you.
Yeah, you're a little further from your mic.
Mic check. Yeah, better, a little bit.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
What you guys looking up on the internets?
So basically, he wanted to know if there's any YouTube videos or any content online that you guys are looking at. That might be good suggestions for people in the audience.
On the internet, we're basically about in the near future putting stuff on YouTube and the internet of what we're doing. A lot of that stuff on the internet, they're trying to get people to buy into certain things and do certain things, and they're not really active in what they're trying to sell. And that's the difference that we're going to bring to the table when we do it. We're going to bring it, because we're going to actually show videos. We all, in our field, we have dozens of videos of how actually working, actually in the field, in the house, showing step by step of how we renovated this house that we just bought. Me actually in the field, showing this contract I'm at. Like I have workers, I don't have to work, but sometimes I do because I still want to stay fresh and know where I came from. Always remember that. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm going to bring to the internet world, me and my partners, but a lot of that stuff is watered down, stuff that I see, I really kind of don't pay any attention to, being honest.
So what I would pretty much say is, it really all depends on the niche, right? So really depending on, what exactly you really trying to look for, right? And in what type of field, So my question to you is, specifically, what are you searching for on YouTube that you may need answers to?
Just to get some clarity, right? I mean, personally, I look at so many crazy things on YouTube. Like I'm learning right now rope tying techniques, learning about drilling. So many things. I'm glad you're actually on panel, man, because I was about to find you. I really want to know about that story. I appreciate that. I guess the questions right now, none comes to mind, but I appreciate you guys' answers and meditate on what you guys said and
Can you
guys
hear me? Can I ask you a question? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
So you said that was your business partner? Right? What is your business?
Our business is real estate.
So you're real estate already, right?
And we're thinking about opening a Chick-fil-A.
Okay, so right now, you're doing real estate. Right now, you're thinking about opening up. What are you currently doing?
Currently, I sell countertops.
I'm sorry.
Branding countertop business?
So you're working for somebody?
Yes.
And you're in sales. So what you're trying to do is now launch your business.
Yes.
So your question is really getting you to try to launch your business in your field, correct?
One more time.
Who are you talking to?
No, she said, her question to you is what you're trying to figure out how to launch your business. She's actually specifically like, what are you interested in? You said,
I guess more than anything, I'm just trying to learn, I'm a big believer that everyone kind of like has their own little like uniqueness about them. It's like, I ask her all the time, like, what are the last things YouTube searches? And I've done so many things. She's asking that one question. And I mean, we can definitely talk offline about that.
The reason why I asked, can I interrupt while you're thinking?
Yeah.
The reason why I asked is I think that's a good question to launch what you want, and that's how you network, right? I don't do real estate. Matter of fact, I'm just now learning how to purchase the building I'm currently in. But I will say this, when you get your niche or when you put information out there, I'm learning the more I put my information out there, now I've got investors that believe in my vision that walks into my office to get me to get to the next step, right? So if you and your partner together, you're gonna move to get a Chipotle, did you do your research to know how much a franchise costs? Matter of fact, they're a lot of money. Did you know where you're gonna put the next Chipotle? Did you think about where are you gonna go? Who's going to be your, are we gonna put it over here like Chick-fil-A? So there's so many things, right? So many things that we get stuck. We have these visions once again and things we want to do, but we don't know how to get to the next step, or we're not getting to the next step because we don't know how to connect with the right people for the next step, unless you and your partner have the money to go into the franchise. Like I said, I tell more to people with daycare because a lot of people go in and want to purchase KinderCare, learning experience, KinderCare, you name all the big chains, to come to find out you have to have that $500,000 going in, right?
Yeah.
Well, the truth is I didn't have that. I had $125.
Who does?
Yeah, so it's just hearing yourself out and seeing where you can get it and get where you can start. Because realistically, opening a chick that is great, but you have to have a plan.
Yeah, did you do your research on Chick-fil-A? Because I honestly thought, you said Chick-fil-A. Because you know why? Because that ran across, I brought it to my team about Chick-fil-A. Did you actually do your homework on Chick-fil-A?
Right now, I'm still kind of seeing what the values are right now.
And it's a great business, but it's not as easy as it seems. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. It's real. It's not a. I mean, it's not a lot to buy into Chick-fil-A, but the requirements is what's the heavy part. It's a requirement.
I would say real quick, just to piggyback on what they're saying in terms of having that plan. I live by the 5 P's. And every time I do anything, it's with these main acronyms. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. And sometimes you gotta be in preparation mode before you can make that big move. You know, as long as you have an undeniable work ethic, you got a plan behind what you're truly trying to achieve, there's no video on YouTube that can make and allow you to make the decision that you're truly supposed to make. Because it's in you, it's not in the person that was talking on that video.
And also, you don't want to let no one deter you from your goals. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't open a Chick-fil-A. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you want to do, you write it down, you take the action towards it, and you're already successful. Whether it's one step, you take one step to that thought that you wrote down, Chick-fil-A. My first step, I gotta do this. Boom, I went and did that. I'm successful. Woo!
Can I get a sheet?
So your work ethic and your ethic and your thought pattern, your thought process is what makes you successful. You understand me?
All right, so we got one more question in the back, real quick.
Thank you all for your comments and everything. A lot of gems. I have a couple questions, like 2 questions actually. But the first question for my first question for the panel. Throughout your deliveries, y'all all mentioned that y'all were on courses. Y'all were doing courses. At some form in your journey, you're going to produce a course or some sort of teach, right? You know, the education is there. So, what are you building your courses on? What platforms are you using to develop your courses? Are you building them yourselves? Are you outsourcing that? How are you developing these courses that you're then going to offer to the people like us to learn the information that you have?
All right, so I didn't mention my course, but my partners did. I have a do-it-yourself credit repair course that is in the form of an ebook. So all it is me showing you how to, get rid of the discrepancies on a credit report with the template letters and all of that. Then I explain how I put in the ebook form how to build your credit up to a point where you become eligible to get funding. So then after that step, I'll give you the step on how to leverage your credit and how to gain passive income, how to use credit card, how to use your reward points off your credit card to purchase other investments as well, or take a vacation, or pay your bills, or whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So in the ebook, to answer your question, I just formulated, throughout the process on how the process goes to and from the levels, from level 1, level 2, level 3, form of the ebook, put it out there, and then we also offer the mentorship to whereas if you need us to guide you step by step throughout that process, we're always here and accessible for you.
Are those tools like, is that?
I do have, step-by-step guidelines on how to do it, so that's how it's set up.
So what I would say, right, when it comes to creating, you know, your own package, right? Because obviously, you know, you want to be able to get people to step-by-step. Number one, I like to, like you said something to create reoccurring billing, right? So you can charge somebody for your service using Stripe, and every month it will charge you reoccurring billing to that platform, right? So, you know, what I like to tend to do when it comes to simplifying processes is for people, you know, I'll go back to my brother here, my brother Marv, what he said earlier is so super important. We always looking for the solution, right? Because we already kind of like went through the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows, you know, through the whole entire process. So it's really about how do we simplify. And one thing I always learn is the dumber the funnel. You know, you can dumb it down for people and make it easy. You know, we live in a world where everything is visualization more than it is just reading a book. You know, YouTube, right? Web 2.0, people go on YouTube and learn certain things like my brother mentioned over here earlier. So what I like to incorporate is, especially starting off for those that don't have access, right? So this is really for those that may not, you know, have the type of money to really start a website, right? So I would tell you guys is you can start your own course, right? And with that course, you can create YouTube videos, but private YouTube videos, only for your community. And the only people that actually pay for that product and service are the people that actually have access to it within the community of the platform that you've actually created, right? Now, what I would say is to get results with those individuals that are actually watching those videos is to create a quiz, right? So if they go watch module 1, guess what? At the end of module 1, you probably got like 3-4 videos. Here's a quick quiz to test that exactly what it is that you learned actually was able to, you know, apply it on this form. So it actually shows that you're actually on the steps to, you know, getting to that level.
For sure. No, thank you for that.
What was your second question you had?
My second question, I'm not asking now. My second question was in regards to Johnathan again. You know, I'm a marketing guy, and you mentioned metaverse, you mentioned Web3. I'm familiar with Web3. You know, and you mentioned the hurdles that small businesses brick and mortar have when it comes to driving traffic. But you know, we can't really assume that when we get into Web3, everyone that's on the platform just now is going to intrinsically just get traffic. So how are we going to, when we get into the metaverse and now we're in Web3, just because we're there doesn't mean that no one's going to show up. So there's still going to be a way of developing traffic and marketing yourself in the new internet. So what are some ways that you think small businesses entering the metaverse, getting into Web3 are going to be able to market their businesses to get that traffic that they may not be getting in the real world, but now in the digital?
That's a very good question. So what I would say is doing events like this, you know, it first starts with the interaction, right? So if I'm in a metaverse and we all meet up here, I want to get to know you, right? I'm building a rapport with the people that I'm actually having a conversation with. So if I'm speaking to my sister and brother here, hey, listen, you know, my name is Johnathan, you know, what kind of brought you into the space? I'm building a rapport because I know that this person has a network of other people that may be interested in what I have to offer. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna properly plan. My first step is I wanna do an event so I can raise awareness, right? Well, the second step, my first step is have the conversation, go meet the people that may have that liking into what I have to offer. Second, already have the space that needs to be utilized in the digital space to actually host an event, so I can give a platform for those individuals to bring those people to that event, so I can really raise awareness to the next level. Because if there's something that comes with marketing that's the most efficient level of marketing, is the word of mouth. And you don't have to pay dollars for the word of mouth. The word of mouth goes a long, long way, right? So I already know if I'm doing an event, maybe I want to do a giveaway at the event. Boom, the word of mouth is going to get around. Hey, listen, you might want to come to this event. They're actually doing a Bitcoin giveaway. They're doing a raffle. The person that has the most referrals that they brought to this event is actually going to be selected to qualify for that, you know, whatever it is. Boom. Now, when that happens, I already have my store set up. I'm in proper preparation already. I already have the store set up. So now, when I'm building the relationship, I'm getting to know people. It's called BAM Fam. Book a meeting from a meeting. I'll say it one more time. Book a meeting from a meeting. So if I did an event and 100 people showed up to my actual event for the launch that I want to present, guess what? Because that I built that momentum at that event, who's going to talk about it? The people that were there. So guess what? Multiplication. Now the second event, I got 1,000 people at the event. That 1,000 people talks about the second event. The third event, I got 5,000 people at the event. Hey, listen, I love you guys. We're gonna do an amazing launch. My store is actually launching in the next 90 days. I'm so looking forward for you guys to be at this actual event. You're gonna be there, right? Yeah, I can count on you, right? Yeah, absolutely, amazing. I'll see you at this event. Now, by the time your launch comes, the whole world knows about it. You go launch, you do a pre-launch, right? You probably got 5,000 people waiting for you to cut that ribbon right there in the universe, the metaverse, right? So that's my way of, you know, for you to actually attract the liking, but to also build popularity within the space, you know, and the type of business that you're trying to do. And that's what's gonna allow people and for you to actually drive traffic. So the same thing in real time, you know, when I was selling comedy club tickets, I had to be one-on-one to get to know people, right? Build that rapport for me to make a name for myself in New York. It's the same thing in the metaverse, but the great thing about the metaverse is that not a lot of people want to leave their house.
Right.
Not a lot of people want to go and feel like they gotta go book a flight to go to Houston to sit down and have a conversation on how their business could expand within that community. So, you know, that's my advice to you. Number one, get to know the people in that space. Number two, have a space where you want to actually do an event that's actually going to be in pre-launch to the actual event, to your actual store that you're going to launch. And then number three, by the time you launch that store, you got people that actually love you for who you are and what you did and the events that you did, that just like in real life, building a community, now you build it in a digital space. And guess what? Who's to say you may launch your store, 10,000 people show up at that store, 500 people go buy your product that starts at $30. You have no overhead. You didn't have to pay for ad spend, right? And on top of it, it's pure profit. And the fact that they put that product, now the next person is going on and saying, hey, I think you really need to check out the store, right? Limited foot traffic. So, did that answer your question?
Can I say one thing with driving people to your networking, like you were saying, networking? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Networking. A lot of times when you meet, like he was saying, you'll meet somebody here, right? So one daycare center, you know, I have 105 kids. You may think 2 kids, but you will connect with the parents. And the parents know the next parents, and the next parents will need what you have. So you can't undermine different things that's in here, right? So you'll say, listen, she's gonna be in touch with about 50 people. That person's gonna be in touch with 25 people. I got 75 right there. You over here got 100 people, and we communicate that way. So a lot of people, when they reach out to me, they reach out not because they want to go into childcare or no children, because they can actually get the parents, right? So once you get the parents, you get the teenagers. If you are a mentor, somebody comes to the daycare center and mentor the young people. We have 15 to 18-year-olds that always come once a month. I don't mentor them. They come into the building because I have the space. The space they have is free, right? So you have these young boys that's gonna go out and get another group of young boys. They go, and all I do is sit there with Keel, because now we utilize, because we want to partner back into our communities. But I will say this, social media will drive them to your site. TikTok, I'm 54, just learning about it. literally started doing how to open your daycare center, step by step. I got people that don't even want to open a daycare center, but there's some tools, and what I'm saying on it is driving them there. Oh, by the way, driving them to the website. Oh, by the way, now they're registering just a week for my ebook, right, that comes out. I meet up somebody in South Jersey this morning, that's why I'm late. She's literally my ghostwriter that's going to do the ebook. I don't have to just pull content from your TikTok. So I would go on, start your stuff on TikTok. It's a 3-minute video, right? I would go on Instagram, get connected there. You only want to be able to launch what you go out there and look for, and they'll drive themselves straight to your platform. Get somebody who can really build you a website, not that 2020. You know, you're gonna have to invest money. If you're gonna call somebody and say, hey, listen, I need a decent website, you can go to my nonprofit website there, we did my Audrey $2,000. I didn't have the money at the beginning. I did a fundraiser to get it because I wanted somebody to go to the proper website, right? So it's just really networking. I tell people all the time, I'm gonna check out what you do, because I may have a parent or I may have a father that's trying to get into somewhere, and they may need you. They ain't gonna need me. I service the children, but they're gonna need you. You drive all of that through. I think social media, technology, especially with COVID, and all these things are happening and connected. It's word of mouth one, that's true, but somebody may not hear from me in California, but if I get on TikTok, they're gonna sit here and China, you know? So I think that's how your presentation is really important. Not being afraid to go outside and network. For years, I was considered, minority daycare center. Now I got multicultural. So, I got Chinese, I got Indians, I got black, I got white. Before, I was so scared to step outside of that. So I was just servicing, my people. And yes, I did it for us, right? The reality is I had to stop being afraid just to connect with him. I started to realize I'm just as important. I can go to any nationality who have money that I can go to bring back into my communities. They say, hey, listen, and I like what the brother in the white, I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. All my brains just kept going back to the Black Wall Street. Now, it did me that. So, but those are the things that I think of. And the truth is, you have to not be afraid to extend, to go somewhere else that's not there. Because the truth is, I may come to you may have 10,000, but I may have to go over here to another part of Plainfield and get somebody to have 50. But the more you are comfortable with your vision and what you're selling and confident in what you're selling, that's what they're gonna go by. And they're gonna go by your vision. Because the truth is, they're paying for your knowledge, not really the buck.
So I think we're about to wrap it up, but I appreciate everybody for asking the questions. Round of applause one more time for the speakers. Thank you very much. This event is, I'm gonna make my way up because I'm just a ghost in the background talking. But this event was real special. Thank you once again for coming out, guys. This means a lot. As an entrepreneur myself, I'm also learning things from everything that you guys shared. It's really important to share the knowledge amongst the community between people, because a lot of times people will tend to hoard information, hoard the knowledge for themselves, just so they themselves can prosper. They don't think about how they can extend that to other people. So this is a beautiful event. I'm glad you guys were able to come out. I just want to give a real quick shout out. We had the caterer, Adrian is catering right here in Plainfield, who provided the food for the event. We had excellent support from the Plainfield Initiative, excellent support from the administration and the council, and of course the in-house support from the Plainfield Performing Arts Center. So I just want to bring Sharon McGuire up one more time just to address you guys, because she really provided the space. So round of applause.
So some people have asked me a little bit, they want to know a little bit more about the cannabis initiative here in the city. The city really has looked at cannabis as an opportunity to promote equity in the city and to relieve the impact of what has happened with incarceration over the years with the Black community and the people of color with drug laws. So one of the things is we have a program in which Plainfield residents can attend Union County College to get that certification for free. So this program is what? It's how many sessions?
It's 5 days, it's 15 hours over 5 days.
Yeah, 15 hours over 5 days. It's done remotely. There's tests at the end, but it provides you with actual certification, which enables you to go into a cannabis business and actually become employed. There isn't enough people who know what to do. Now, does that mean that you all just want to go work for someone else? No. It means that you learn more about the possibilities of cannabis business. And it isn't just working at the dispensaries that are going to cost, $500,000 to start. It's all those people who have all those other businesses that are going to have to take care of the cannabis business. The cleaning business is going to be tremendous because they do not have people who are trained in how to take care of the exact needs of the cannabis industry. So those buildings are all going to need a specific kind of cleaning. They're also going to need a specific kind of lighting. There's all these other kinds of businesses that they do not have resources yet in the city of New Jersey. So we're looking at the chance for you to learn about that through the cannabis certification and understand a little bit more about that, and then see the possibilities of all these other ancillary businesses, transporting, another big industry that's going to be coming up.
The next class is October 3rd.
Right, so right now the next class is October 3rd. There's always a waiting list for this class. So it's an opportunity for people to just learn about the possibilities of something else. One of the things I think is really interesting is that this is an opportunity to be on a cutting-edge business that some states, and perhaps New Jersey, will now take opportunities to promote businesses. So there's going to be opportunities. They're going to be created for people. So that's okay. That's music. Someone who doesn't have grandchildren, like me. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was the Art Center. People also ask me about what kind of things do you do in the Art Center if you're not an artist. If you're not an artist, we have had a tremendous amount of private parties, fundraisers, conferences, meeting space. Sometimes you don't need to have a big meeting space in your own building, in your own offices, but we can provide that time that you do need a big meeting space. And we also have opportunities here where we have, a tremendous amount of tech in this building. We have a really phenomenal film facilities. So we have this gigantic screen, the kind of screen that you go and find in a small movie theater, and a projector. Those kinds of things become a big deal if you need them for your business. So, and when we do supply that, we supply, you rent the room, we supply some tech. So I'm hoping that people will look at this building, not just this room, but the other smaller rooms as well, and the whole facility is a possibility for when you might need it. And the person you talk to is me. Easy to talk to, I'm always here. Can you get my phone number? It's a phone number you can reach me 24 hours a day. And I take phone calls at 1 o'clock at night with people who say, I want to put on an art exhibit. I hope you think about this as a real city resource to promote your business. People come and said to me that they don't know what they want to do, they just want to see the facilities. That's fine too. You don't have to have an idea yet. Maybe the idea will be part of the next part of your vision for success. So I'm hoping that, call me up, I would gladly give you a tour. I'm a former docent, I can bore you to death with historical information, or I can just show you the possibilities of great space. And one of the interesting things about the space is it's empty, and it's empty on purpose. We want artists to come in here and businesses to come in here and see spaces that have not been conceived yet. So if you walk into a room and you wonder, why is there no furniture? That's on purpose. That's for you to bring what's going to come to the room. So, any questions about the Art Center? You call me? Sure. How much does it cost? Depends on the room. Depends whether you're a Plainfield resident, a nonprofit, or a non-Plainfield resident. So for example, if you have this room for over 75 people, it's $70 an hour if you're a non-Plainfield resident. And I believe for a Plainfield resident, it's $60 an hour. So we're talking about spaces that are really, yeah. And the reason why it's set is because we want to make sure the people in Plainfield understood they could use this for family functions. There are a lot of people who don't have homes that are big enough to have a party, to have a first birthday party. So one of the first events we did when we opened up the building in 2019 was an 11-year-old's birthday party. It was his first birthday party, and it was in this room. So we look at this as an opportunity for not just people to use it for their business, but also use it to unite the family, create community.
Alright, so Chairman Wilder will be around if anybody has any more questions or is interested in, looking at opportunities to rent the space. There's, once again, a lot of resources still here. We're getting ready to close everything down and kick all y'all out. But we still got a few minutes, so make sure you connect with people if you haven't yet. You can connect with the speakers that's still here. You can connect with some of the city administration, Plainfield Performing Arts Center. We also have DJ Bishop up here who's providing music for you guys earlier on as well. Oh yes, also still has some bags that were generously provided by PNC Bank in the next room, so make sure you guys grab one. I see you went and standing just now. And then also too, before you leave, we do have some surveys on the table. If you haven't filled them out yet, make sure you fill them out because those are what are going to help us determine how we can better serve the community and have the events that you guys actually want to come out to and support. So once again, I want to thank everybody that had a role in this. Thank the Love Plainfield Initiative, thank the City of Plainfield, thank the speakers for coming out. Special thanks to Sharon McGuire, special thanks to Erica Brown, and special thanks to y'all for supporting, all right? Everybody get home safe.
Seen this one yet? No. I was looking at it the whole time. It is like 5 feet. And 5 feet just came out. Yeah. They took the camera and they made it a studio camera and a camera for the high. So look at the screen, right?